Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Teen Talk Tuesdays. We got a comment about bullying, which we think is really important since school will be starting back shortly. What we'll be talking about is the four types of bullying: social, verbal, physical, cyber, um, and that's the four ones we mainly know about, and there's subunits obviously under those.
Okay. All right. That's going to be a good talk. Thank you guys for that, for the young person that go ahead and added that comment. And that just going to bring me a quick interlude here just to say, hey, how's your summer going? It has officially been a month that you guys have been home, have been hopefully enjoying your summer. And because you guys have maybe a full month in a couple of days, maybe just depending on where you guys are in the world, we wanted to go ahead and discuss bullying. So I want Nalani to go ahead and give us a breakdown of those four types of bullying, and then we can kind of discuss from there just any experiences. Nalani's not had to come to me, thankfully, hope without any of her personal experiences, but myself, I went through that as a young person, and yeah, but we'll talk about that later on. Nalani, go ahead and break down those types.
Okay. So verbal bullying is your usual picking on somebody. And, for example, how Kevin Hart, he's short. And so people are always making jokes. Now, there's one thing between jokes and then actually when somebody addresses that, they don't feel like this is a joke and you keep doing it. That's the point of bullying. Then, so that would be verbal. Social is mostly when it's a group of people excluding somebody from a group and saying, oh, you shouldn't talk to that person. Spreading gossip is kind of social and verbal, but social is mainly like when a group of people are doing something to you. For example, in a Criminal Minds episode, Spencer, he's a child genius, so he was young in high school. And then one day, the group of this girl was like, "Oh, was acting like she likes Spencer." And then the whole like jocks, they got him out into the like little courtyard and like made him strip, and then tied him up to a pole for like a whole night. That would be social because a whole group of people were in on the demise and the humiliation of one or multiple people. Cyber, as everyone knows, is like when people are commenting bad stuff about you, or bashing you in any way on any social media sites. And then our physical, I wouldn't say it's the most common, but it's more well known, like how verbal is. So physical is obviously when somebody is hitting you and somebody's shoving you, when somebody's like pulling your hair, spitting on you, or putting gum in your hair. Anything like that is physical harm to your person.
Okay. Thank you for defining that. And unfortunately, I'm not going to tell you guys how old I am. We're not doing that today. But since I'm telling you that I've experienced it, bullying is not something that it's just you. So if some of you guys are out there, and then you should know from some of the news stories that have happened, I haven't seen too many recently, but bullying has been going on for a very long time. I don't want to say since the beginning of time because obviously I was not there then, but since I was a little girl, and I have an older brother, he never said he'd experienced it, but I know he used to tease people. So yeah, so since before he was born, so it's been around for a long time. For me personally, I'm a very introverted person. So I tend to stay to myself a lot. I'm more into books. I like to read. I try to be a person's friend. That's the type of person that I am. So for me, I never understood why I was being picked on. why they were picking on me. Oh, and a question that I will pose for you guys, and please comment, because I know that a lot of you guys have either experienced it or witnessed it. Any of the 4 types of bullying, and you guys can either share your experience, share whether you witnessed it, what it was that you witnessed. Put that down in the comments below for us. If you need some help with that, I'm gonna get the address and a resource for you guys to kind of reach out. And again, like I said, share with us. We'll be able to try to reach out to you guys, get you guys in contact if you want to just address something specifically to Nalani so she can reach out to you and try to be a friend to you, or any kind of way for us to help you. We want to be able to do that for you. Again, this is your safe space. But to continue with my story or my experience, what I found was the less I stood up for myself, the longer it continued to go on. So 1st grade through probably 6th grade, everything was good. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I got little friends, ha, yee. And then the minute we hit 6th grade, it was like, what changed? Why all of a sudden these people are nice and then now they're mean? And it was like nonstop. So I get picked on at the bus stop. Then, and it wasn't just a particular, and I don't know if that's something different too. Is it just, if you're a young lady, is it just girls? Are girls meaner than boys? Or are the boys meaner than the girls? Or is it mainly like boy and boy bullying? Or is it a mix? You know, let me know. Is there a difference? I know back when I was growing up, I think my bully at the bus stop was a boy. But at school, it was girls. So it was like, why is this boy being mean to me? Because I know the teacher used to say, oh, boys mess with you because they like you. No.
Oh, wait. Well, can I get into that? I feel like it just depends on who just feels the need to just go out and bring negative emotions and energy into a space. Because for me, I did have like one time this boy was teasing me, but I think that case was no, but I think no, because I put him back in his place. But I think that was because he did have a crush on me. And but then sometimes it would like happen over the years, but it was always like how, because in 3rd grade I struggled in math, and so I was in regular, and then they put me down to I need help, and so he would always put that over my head, and so that was that. But then another time when I don't think the people are like me, it was just because my last name is different. I haven't There was only one person I knew who had the same last name as me, but that was like an adult and it was spelled differently, but it was like sounded the same. And so they were just rhyming it with stuff. And this was the 3rd grade, so it was like, okay. And I just told the counselor. That's the actually one time when a counselor does actually help. I'm not saying all counselors are bad, but some of them don't really be helping. And it's just like, no, that's why nobody likes you.
So that's number 2. Sorry, Nalani, to add in the comments too. Do you guys feel comfortable to be able to talk to your guidance counselors that are at the school? How helpful are Nalani? You just off the rip talking about no. I guess it depends on your school. Are they just not helpful to you guys at all? Is there anybody? I know for me, I didn't ever go to a counselor. There's other background stuff, so I'm not going to go into that, but I had teachers. And again, the teaching environment back then is different than it is now. And I've seen that just having a daughter growing up in the school system. I think teachers cared a lot more. So I'm sorry if I'm offending any teachers, because my daughter has had some awesome teachers. So I'm not saying that that's the situation with all teachers, but the teachers I had when I was growing up stood up for me. So please know, Mosquito is not saying that that's all the cases, because my 8th grade year, no one's going to think I got expelled the last year. Because remember I said it, my bullying didn't, I don't want to say it stopped, but it stopped being so in my face all the time the year that I got expelled. It's because that same group of girls that was bullying me all of that time saw at that point, yeah, you're not just going to continue to for me to be a pushover. That's not what's going to happen. So I think I told you guys last week that I don't advocate violence. I don't advocate you putting your hand on anybody else.
Yeah, she doesn't.
However, what nobody should be allowed to do is put their hand on you and that be allowed to stand. So whoever other teachers, administrators be like, oh, don't say that. No. This one, don't put your hand on my child. And especially if she's already gone to a teacher, and I've seen too many cases, and that has been in the news. This is going to end up having to be 2, maybe 3 parts to this bullying series, because too many, and especially for the girls, I don't want to say weaponizing, you're demonizing our girls, especially our girls of color, making it seem like they have attitudes and they're already the problem without even hearing their side of things first to see how they got to the point where it became an altercation. Because I do remember an instance where you told me about, I always tell her, well, go tell the teacher first. So if she's gone to the teacher and had, or whoever's in charge, and made the person aware that there's a problem, and whoever's the adult has not made any steps to correct the problem, and now she's come to me and told me, and I come to you, and now the problem is still happening, we have a problem. Because I'm not going to allow my child to be hurt because the adults aren't doing what they're supposed to do to have a safe environment. So again, I don't advocate violence. I don't advocate. But what I don't do is allow anybody, using correct English here because y'all about to go back to school. Don't allow somebody to hurt you. Don't do that. You are not anybody's punching bag. You are not anybody's doormat. And what do I tell you guys all the time? You are worthy. You are loved. You are kind and intelligent. And none of those things equate to being talked down to, being talked about, regardless of what your skin color is, regardless of the complexion of your skin.
The shade.
Let's not do that. And we're getting close to time, so I know for sure there's going to be definitely a part 2, maybe a part 3. You guys like, share, subscribe. What else do we normally say at the end before we close this? Yeah, bullying is big for me. So it's big on my heart. And I care about you guys. I want you guys to be equipped to go into this year succeeding. You have to go in there succeeding, already knowing that you've already succeeded, right? Have your mind made up that this year is going to be an awesome year. Go into your everyday knowing that it's an awesome day, regardless of what has happened, right? Again, it's innate. It's in your DNA. You guys are, I don't want to get emotional, and we have to close this video. So, Nalani, take us out. I love you guys.
I just want to say for our part 2, I will share one of my experiences. I wouldn't say it's bullying, but, well, I wouldn't say it's as major as my mother has told me stories about hers, but just the little teasing. And then since today we didn't actually get on the steps on what to do, we're definitely gonna talk about that next time. And remember, you guys are important, you're kind, and you're intelligent, and you deserve to be happy and to not let anybody diminish you. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you guys join us for our next episode. But goodbye.
See you next time.